We've had No Nuance November, and now it's time for Do Discourse December. It's time to bring up topics that you don't think enough people are talking about. I'll go first. The way we do genre in games is not working. It is basically a cobbled together patchwork categorization system. And when it comes to accurately describing games to people who might not have been in the gaming community, it fails over and over and over again. We have genres based on what you do in the game, platformers and shooters. We have genres based on how the game makes you feel, action and horror. We have genres based on where they were made, JRPG. We have genres based on how many people are playing, the MMO. Our genres are sometimes used too loosely. Call of Duty, Ace Combat, and Gradius can all be called shooters. Tetris and Danganronpa can both be called puzzle games. There are genres that are based on other games that these games are kind of like, such as roguelikes, Metroidvanias, Soulsborns. There are genres based on where the camera is, first-person shooter or third-person action game. There are genres based on the amount of dimensions the gameplay takes in, such as 2D or 3D fighter. There are party games that are board games that are strategy games, and strategy games that are war games. And then there are genres that don't communicate anything, and people only know what they are if they're already part of the community, like shmups, or MOBAs, or 4X games. There's the giant bag of bees that is simulator games. You try to explain to a SimCity fan what Goat Simulator is. Look, this doesn't have to be a huge project, but I do think we need to rethink the way that we're actually describing games. Like, yes, most gamers know what we're talking about, but most gamers don't really need genre classification so much. Genre classifications are better for library efforts, and library efforts are better for people who have to research this stuff. And people who have to research this stuff may not always know what we know when it comes to genre. And having to teach this genre classification system that has a million exceptions, a million buts, a million ifs, a million little rules that split games up into different genres with different jargon, it's too much. I don't think that there's a golden bullet that quote-unquote fixes it, and I think if we do fix it, it's going to take a long time. But I do think we should start talking about it, and I don't think that hand-waving it away and saying everything's fine and that this conversation is something that's not needed is very productive. I also think the steps that are being taken to help reform the way that we think about genre are kind of crappy at best. Like, the closest we've gotten is toyed around with renaming Metroidvania Search Action, and I don't think that Search Action is a particularly good way to name that genre either. So yeah, start the discourse. What do you think? What should we do with genres? Should we leave them alone? Should we fix them? And if we need to fix them, how? Comment and post your own video, and let's kick off Do Discourse December.